Mad crazy shit, guys. Sorry about that. Let's get back to it. All right, so like I was saying before, if you want to do a quick video on marketing, just mad shit just happened just now. You guys won't even believe it, but it is what it is. That's how things go down sometimes. All right, let me see if you guys can see this right now. I don't think so. All right, so what I'm gonna do, like I was saying before, I can't reverse the screen because I don't have the tripod set up right now. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna teach it. You guys write it down. But hold on, real quick. Let me see. I can do this real quick. All right, cool. They gave me a couple of options. Black USA, small business owners. Alright guys, if you guys are joining us, Josh Harkness live show. We're going to touch base on some key things for your marketing. I was supposed to drop a video earlier today. We had a whole bunch of issues, so we're just going to still do it. We're fully committed. What I will do tonight as well, whoever needs help with their marketing campaign, we'll give away a free, we'll set up for you for free, okay? So if you need marketing, you need someone to set up your marketing campaign on Facebook, we'll do it for free. Just drop it in the comments. Say, hey Josh, I need some assistance with setting up my marketing campaign to get more customers to your webpage or phone calls or to your place of business. We will help you out for free, no charge. All right, let me just get everything going. So we set up a lot of the stuff earlier today for the marketing live feed, and then what I want to do right now is give you guys the information just in case you guys want to go on and do it yourself. So earlier today we were talking about like how to start your marketing campaign, and a lot of people don't realize before you do any kind of marketing campaign on Google, Facebook, whatever the case may be, you definitely want to make sure that you research everything. I know it sounds cliche, but it's true. You definitely want to make sure that you research everything. If this is your first time joining me, this is Josh at the Josh Harkness Show. This is a live show, number one, based on real results in real time. So I don't want to give you guys no fluff information, nothing that's pre-recorded, nothing like that. Hold on one second. Let me just move this up a little bit. Hold on one second. This is not pre-recorded. All right, so cool. Let's get to it. So like I said, I'm going to show you guys the layout that we use. Obviously, I'm not the best drawer, but guys, just take notes because the video, we don't have the setup on a tripod, so you guys got to reverse it, or I got to reverse it, and that's not going to basically work right now. So just take notes and just listen in. So the first key to setting up your marketing campaign is going to be research. Now, what I mean by research, I want you to research your keywords. It's basic information, but research your keywords. That's number one, right? Also, your key phrases and your exact phrases for your business, product, or service, right? So the first thing that you want to do is research your keywords. A good tool to use is Google Trends. The next one is going to be keyword everywhere. It's another good word. But like I said, before you start your marketing campaign, you want to take a look at your keywords, the phrases that's being used in your marketplace, and also the exact match. So sometimes when you're on, searching on Google, some people put in like, what's the nearby restaurant, or they'll type in TV, or they'll type in 4K camera, and then those are the search things that you guys want to put. You want to put the exact search phrase that your customers are using inside of your campaign. Now I know that sounds kind of like, okay, Josh, I get that, but it's going to get more intense as we go. All right, so let me just rewrite this here for you guys real quick. So I started the video, and the video basically like timed out on me, so I just want to redo it real quick. I know it was a little late, so you guys just bear with me. So the first thing that you want to do is going to be research, which is right here, right? Now what I mean by research, what I mean by that is going to be keywords, right? You want to research your keywords. Whatever product or service you have, you want to research your keywords. You want to use Google Trends, right? And you also want to use keyword everywhere, right? That's another program that you guys can use. All right, so the next thing is that you want to make sure that you test everything. Do not run a campaign thinking that it's going to be the end all be all. All right, it's not going to be the end all be all. So number 2 is going to be tests. I'm going to show you guys an example here. We already did this lesson plan, so I just want to kind of redo it because we timed out and we just wrapping up everything. So I know some people are still logging on and getting the information. So let's hold on real quick. Let me just do it over real quick for you so you guys can see it. All right. So here, when we're talking about tests, right? When we talk about test your ad or whatever your campaign is, this is what we mean. You go on to, let's say, Facebook Ad Manager, if you're using that right now, Facebook Ad Manager, and then you create your, you create your ad. This is how I want you guys to set up when you guys are testing. There's a thing called A/B test, which is basic information, but you're gonna have one content here that's made. You're gonna have another content here. Then you put $5 behind it, but in case you let that run, and that's the first test. Now the test that I'm gonna show you to do is totally different. So it's similar to an A and B, but you're gonna do it 12 times, right? So this is your advertising campaign for testing, right? You want to do it 12 times, right? So let's say you got to add content here, right? Your ad content is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way down to 12. All right, and your second one, your B test is going to be the same thing. So you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You're going to have 12 ad copies here, right? All these content set up. And this is just for testing, right? A lot of people don't talk about this because they don't want you to, you guys waste all your money and you're wondering why shit don't work because you're not testing effectively. Now, out of this A test of 12, you're going to find your winning campaign. Out of this B testing, out of 12, you're going to find your winning campaign that works. Once you get those things, either if you get an A winning or a B winning, now what you want to do is put the right amount of money behind it. But this is what happens, which a lot of people don't talk about, and this is how they're getting their marketing dollars down so good, is because once you do an A test, right? So this is test your ad. Once you do an A test 12 times, right, and a B test 12 times, this is what happens. You land on data, right? And on top of that, you land on winning ad campaigns. I'm just going to abbreviate it, okay? So now you land on your data, right, which you get to keep, and you also land on winning data. These are two very key parts: data and then winning ad content. So once you do this tester, you knock it out 12 times, right? 12 different campaigns, right, on your A, and 12 different campaigns on your B, right? You'll land on data, and you also land on winning ad campaigns. Once you get that data, you can do something called retargeting, right? Which is very important. And on top of that, that's going to equal to a lower ad cost, right? So lower ad cost is what's going to help you out when you guys are testing. So when you test the first time, you're going to collect data. You're also going to collect winning ad copies. So say like out of 12, you probably get, let's say, 1, 2, 3 of these ads are winning ad copies, right? Out of these 12, you probably get, let's say, even 2. Let's say you get 2 winning copies out of here. So now you got 2 winning copies out of that one ad copy, and you got 3 winning ad copies out of here, meaning that a customer had went to this ad, they engaged with you, they purchased something, right? On this side, you got 2 ad copies, customers engaged with you, and they purchased something, right? Now, what I mean by retargeting, on these 12 these 12 ad copies, and these 12 ad copies, you collect the data, meaning you collected names, right? And you also collected phone numbers, right? Which are the main key things. If you collected date of birth and all this other great information and addresses and all this stuff, that's great too. Because now you can actually mail them out and things like that. Me personally, I always say try to get a date of birth, name, phone number, email, and an address, right? I don't care what kind of business you're in. If you're not getting those key things and you're spending money that just doesn't make sense. Always get a phone number, get an email, get a name, get a date of birth, and an address. How we teach it over here, you want to create a digital report with everyone, right? You want to have access to the address just in case you want to send your customer some great incentive, coupons, offers, and things like this. If you're running ad campaigns and you're collecting all this data and you're not doing that, you're wasting your money and you're wasting your time and you're not doing ad copies effectively. All right, so let's get back to it. So now we got 3 winning ad copies here. We got 2 winning ad copies here because we ran 12 on the A test. We ran 12 on the B test, right? Let me just clear the board real quick. All right, so now we got winning ad copies. We spent $5 for 24 ad copies. Now this is what is going to happen. Now you're going to be able to set up five winning, right? 5 winning ad copies that works. Reason being that work, you got names, you got phone numbers, you got date of birth, right? You got emails, and you got sales. All right. So out of those 24 test campaigns that we ran, right, we got 5 winning ad copies, which is very important, right? So now we got these 5 ad copies here. I say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and the last one here is 5. So these are 5 good ad copies here. Your job as a business owner and your job, as a marketer for someone, whatever the case may be, is to obviously get low running ad copies, which is what you're going to do initially, or try to do initially, but you can't do it without testing. All right, so now that you got 5 winning ad copies from out of the 24 that we ran, now you can start getting these things at $0.75 cents or $1, right? That's what happens. Now if you want to increase it, this is what happened. These 5 winning campaigns got us 50 customers, right? Because we did an A/B test, right, which are campaigns, and we did 24. And out of that 24, we found out that we got 24 ad copies, right? We got 5 winning campaigns. I'm just abbreviating, right? And that landed us 50 customers. Now at 50 customers, just gonna abbreviate once again. At 50 customers, that helped us land on $1,500. Okay, so once again, you guys need to make sure that you test, make sure that you research everything, and then do your testing A/B at 24 campaigns so you can land on, it's still a numbers game. No matter what we do in life, in most cases, especially when it's sales related, it's the numbers game. So you guys want to make sure that you guys focus on the numbers games, because you run 24 campaigns, you're definitely somewhat landing on 5 winning campaigns, and this is where you want to spend your money. Okay, so not only did you run 24 campaigns, you collected data. What I mean by data, you collected phone numbers, emails, date of birth, and addresses. Anytime you run a campaign, even if it's for testing or it's like a legit campaign, make sure you get the customer date of birth, and make sure you try to get the customer address, because you want to build a digital report. These are key fundamental things that people are leaving out. So by the time you're wasting or spending hundreds of dollars or even $1,000, if you're not collecting phone number, email, date of birth, and addresses and emails, then you're not doing it the right way. Because the name of the game, the name of the game, especially for independent contractors, business owners, and all this stuff, like, we have to focus on collecting the data and controlling the data. All right, cool. So let's get to the next part. So we got 50 customers that are running these campaigns. That got us to $1,500, right? So now your next goal is not to blow to 15, right? If you guys were on our other live feed, we show you how to use your marketing dollars and turn it into profit. But so for right now, let's say now we got 5 winning campaigns, right? Because we did a 24 ad test, A and B, right? So out of this 24, got us 5 winning campaigns. 5 winning campaigns got us in front of 50 customers that closed, right? Out of those 50 customers, we was at 1,500 for this ad copy. Okay. Now, since we collected data on these 24 and got 5 winning campaigns, we still collected the data. Now, a lot of people, like I said, what do I mean by data? Just make sure anytime you do an ad copy, especially lead generation on Facebook or any of these platforms, make sure you collect the name, make sure you collect a phone number, make sure you collect an email, make sure you collect the date of birth, make sure you collect an address as much as possible. I know the address and date of birth is kind of tricky, but just try to do an offer around these things. Hey, to get our next VIP deep discount, please leave your name, number, date of birth, and address, right? So let's say for your date of birth, happy birthdays, make sure you do a campaign on happy birthday or an offer on happy birthday. So happy birthday offers, right? And who cares if the customer put the right date of birth? That's not important. If they put it, it's still going to go to them because they probably put it in the right address. So they may not put the right date of birth. They may not put in the right date of birth, but they'll put in the right address, as well as the name, phone number, and email. Okay. But when you're trying to get the date of birth, just make sure you put a nice offer there so that is enticing, as well as address. Make sure you put VIP, VIP only for addresses, right? Then you put your 50%, you put your 70% there, whatever the case may be, or your 90%. But what happened is once you get this kind of information and you collect the data, like what we're talking about, now you can do a thing called retargeting campaigns, right? So for all these people who came on your site who didn't purchase, or even the people who came on your site and they did purchase, now you can build and market warm, and you can market to people who purchased with you and continue building that relationship. Because if a customer buy one time, in most cases they're going to buy another time, and in most cases they're going to share your they're going to share their interactions with their family members. So that's very important. All right. Hold on 1 second. So that's very important. All right. So moving along. Hopefully you guys can see the board there. If not, just listen to me, and I'm writing everything down as I go. All right. Sorry about that. Normally I'm on my tripod and all kind of things, but it's a lot of stuff just died on me. So don't worry about it. I'll make sure I do a next one tomorrow too, a little cleaner one so everything charges up. All right, so this is what happens. So in that ad copy, sorry, not an ad copy, well, while you're doing your campaign, or setting up your campaign with Facebook or Google or whoever it is, hold on 1 second, guys. Can you guys see it that way? No. All right, so let me just hold it close. All right, so when you guys are setting up your ad campaign on Facebook, IG, YouTube, or Google Ads, this is what you guys want to focus on. Clearly, you want to focus on the age, right? Location, the language, right? Male, female, right? I'm going to get you guys with some more information, but this is just basic information that we want to make sure that we cover, right? Because this is what's going to happen. You guys are going to understand why the other part worked, because this part is so important. So age, location, male or female, language is important. Now, let's take it a step further. The interests, right, of your ideal customer. The interest is very important. and your ideal customer behavior is very important, right? These things here are important. The next thing that's important, especially when you're using Facebook, is going to be the suggestion part of of your targeted marketing campaign. Okay. Now I'm going to show you something that they don't talk about a lot. Clearly, you can go into income, right? And you can also go into date of birth when you're talking about the habits, right? On interest, you want to make sure that you pop in a lot of the competitor websites, right? www. So whoever's your ideal customer is, you know, whatever niche you in, you want to make sure that you put in that campaign the competitor's information, okay? You also want to make sure that you put in date of birth or people's birthdays that's coming up. You also want to put in income. You also want to put in, right, job titles, right? You don't want to put in the place that they work at. You want to put in the job titles, because remember, our main goal is to get this ideal customer to come purchase with us. But like I said before, since we already ran 24 campaigns, right? We ran 24 campaigns for our A/B test, right? And then we landed on 5 winning campaigns. Now we're able to really have all the information for our ideal customer that purchased with us. Because when we ran this campaign, we were able to make $1,500, and now we can scale our business because we have the correct information to do it. Okay. Even if you're in fitness, if you, whatever kind of industry you're in, it's the same game plan. Okay. Now, just for new people, right? New people coming aboard, or some people that's not really hip to like the digital marketing world. Facebook owns Instagram and Google owns YouTube. All right. So a lot of your campaigns are going to cross, it's going to cross market on these platforms. Okay. Now, I hope you guys caught that. So when you run Facebook ads, a lot of times they ask you, is your Instagram page linked, so they can run the campaigns to your Facebook page. Okay. Now, your goal is clearly to use Facebook first. I'm just going to give you, a great strategy. So use Facebook first, because you can get in front of billions of people immediately. All right. You have a huge engagement on Facebook, so make sure you use Facebook first. If you don't have Facebook, make sure you get it. Make sure you set up your business page, and make sure you start running your ad campaigns. You're testing ad campaigns on Facebook. All right. So first you want to use Facebook, because Facebook goes to IG, right? And then IG, you want to make sure you set up everything properly. So the rule of thumb when you're using Facebook, on Facebook, don't use too many words. All right, don't use too many words. Instagram is very similar, words. Don't use too many words on your actual content. All right. So if you're making your own content, just focus on pictures, right? Just pictures only for Facebook and Instagram, right? And then if you do video, do videos with no text. All right. So this can help you get shown. You get shown more when you have videos and pictures without any text. Okay? That's the rule for Facebook and IG. Now for Google, they're a little bit more lenient, and for YouTube, they're a little bit more lenient, because what they do on their ads, inside of the ad manager, right? They have places that you can put your keywords. They have places where you can put your WW. They have places where you can put subscribe. They have places where you can, you can do your pop-ups. These are called natives, right? So a lot of people don't talk about natives when they're teaching these lessons. You need to understand your natives, right? So you can understand on YouTube where you can have these things pop up. Okay, so 1, when you're writing your hold on 1 second. So you guys can see the board. Hurry up, I got the thing on mute. Just leave it up there. Leave it by the door. Just keep it down, come recording. Alright guys, let me get back to it. Alright, so on YouTube, you guys are gonna have a place where you guys can add the description of your video, right? As well as, like I said, your website, your subscriptions, and also your pop-ups. So if you're doing extra videos, and you guys want videos to pop up here on your next video, you can do that, okay? If you got a pop-up on your product, you'll put it in one of these and it'll pop up on the YouTube screen, okay? So if you got your www dot, it'll pop up, right? Boom. If you have subscribe and it comes here, now people can actually subscribe to your channel. It'll pop up there, right? If you have a, what do you call it, pop-up, which is called like an end card, right? If you have an end card on your video on YouTube, it'll pop up. Let's say your end card comes here, right? And your end card has another, another promotion that whatever you have. But I like YouTube because on YouTube they have these parts in the ad manager or Google AdWords where you can put it on your video and have people, do a call to action there to get people to go to your website and things like that. Okay, so that's a key thing for YouTube and Google. It's a little more easy to deal with. All right, as far as advertising, they don't have too many restrictions with ad copies and things like that because they have places for you to put it. All right, moving along. Now we went over 1, 2, and 3, and we just covered 4. Hold on, actually we're gonna go over 4 right now. 5, 6, 6, 7, 6, 7. So we're gonna go over 5 right now. Sorry, guys. All right. So number 5. So in 1, we researched, right? Right. We research our ad copy before we did it, so we know what we're doing. And that was based on keywords, right? And we use Google Trends for that. And we also use keyword everywhere. Okay, that's another program that you guys can use. All right, so Google Trends we use, and the keyword everywhere. We research first, and then we went into doing an ad copy. All right, so our ad copy got the right information, it got the right keywords, and now we can write a description. Now number 2, we did a test on Facebook. We did an A/B test on Facebook, okay? So test A/B using Facebook. Now we use, versus using 1 or 2 tests, we did 24. So we did 12, 12, 12. So 12A, 12B. This helped us land on, because it's a numbers game, it helped us land on 5 winning campaigns. Meaning, we collected data, that's very important, and 2, we got sales, okay? People went to the website and purchased, which is very important. So we got step 1, step 2, which is going to be test, And then step 3, right? We was talking about retargeting, right? So why? We talked about retargeting, right? And then we also talked about making sure that we get date of birth, phone numbers, emails, right? Date of birth, phone number, emails, name, okay, and address. All right. The key part to this was the ad costs, right? Because once we did this 12 here and this 12 here, that equal to 24, right? Equal to 24 ads that we ran to get 5 winning ones. Now we're able to get a lower ad cost, right? So lower ad cost by testing, right? And also we collected the data. So we don't need Facebook data anymore. We got our own data to help us out. We got our own data, right? We got our own customers' information. And on top of that, we got low cost when we're using Facebook. Now, once again, this lesson can go on anything. So if you're selling furniture, if you're selling tech, any kind of product or services that you're going to be selling, once you collect the data, once you do those 24 ad copies, once you find the winning one, and then you put it into a retargeted marketing campaign, you're going to be able to save a lot of money, and you're going to be able to get more sales because you identified this customer so savvily, right? This strategy is going to help you get in front of this person each and every time, and that's the way you want to do it. And then we had number 4. Let me just make sure I got it here. Number 4 is going to be sales. Okay, I'm going to show you how to scale all this stuff in a minute. But number 4 is going to be sales. So what happens once we get in front of these people, we close these deals, we got the information, of course we land on sales. So by doing this strategy, we was able to get $1,500 online to our website. Okay, so $1,500 came through because people went to our website and they purchased. Okay, and I'll show you guys some of the results. But this is what we had to do to get customers. Now this is sales. How do we get sales? Just remember that the key part to all this is this right here. When we do our ad campaign on Facebook, right, or even Google, or even YouTube, right? Remember, it's going to be keywords, right? And it's going to be description. So you want to make sure these 2 things are proper. So you do your research and you do that. The second part, which is going to be important, is going to be the age, right? The location, the language, right? The customer interest, competitor websites, right? And then behavior is very important. But all I mean is by behavior, in most cases, there's categories inside of the Facebook Ad Manager where you can put in certain behavior types and things like this. What I want you guys to focus on is income. I want you to focus on mid-income to high income to low income. All right. I want you to focus on date of birth, or upcoming birthdays. What was the other one? I also want you guys to focus on titles, on job titles, right? I hope I spelled it right. I want you guys to focus on job titles. When it comes down to running ad campaigns for your brand, product, or service, I also want you guys to focus on competitor websites, right? So competitor websites, you want to make sure you have in your targeted marketing ad campaign. So if you are, Best Buy, you want to have Target. If you are H&M, you want to have Old Navy or Gap. Like whatever your competitor is, make sure you put that into your ad campaign as well, and into your targeted ad campaign. Like I said, income. If you are selling a high-end product, you want to make sure you sell a high-end product to someone that can afford it. If you're selling an everyday product, then of course you want to put your low-tier person all the way up to your high-tier person. That's going to help you better. If you are selling in your neighborhood, you want to drop in your zip code, right? So if you drop in your zip code, you can market to people that's in your zip code so they can come to your location. If you are a brand chain or franchise or a business that has multiple locations, you can put each location in your ad copy and have them come to each and every location. Okay. All right, so let's get to it. So I hope you guys caught that last part. It's going to be zip codes. Zip codes and addresses is very important to have added to your ad campaign. If you do not know how to do an ad campaign, we will help you out for free. Tomorrow is Friday, so Friday at 7, we'll choose 10 people to help out for free to get customers to your business or to call you or emails, whatever, lead generation. So normally lead generation means we'll have people go to your store, we'll have customers calling you, or we have customers go to your website. Okay, that's all for free tomorrow, so don't miss out on that. Now moving along. So that was step number 4. So now we go into step number 5. All right, so step number 5, like I said, I'm going to help you guys scale your business now, because these fundamental steps are all the same once you guys start getting results and running campaigns. I want you guys to follow the same thing. So number 5, we learn how to get one customer. We learn how to get one customer. This is very important in any business, right? If you was a place of business, just keep thinking about that. Your place of business is the same thing. It's just online now, right? So now we showed you how to get one customer to your website on the steps that we just showed you, right? So versus having a customer walk into your place of business, right? We have a customer going to your website, all right, to spend money, potentially spend money. Now, step 5, we showed you how to get a customer, how to get them to your website by using competitor websites, names, numbers, phone numbers, their interests, things that they like, things, other stores, all this stuff, right? So that's the reason why that campaign is going to work, because they're going to come to your store, you're going to write up a nice offer, you're going to have a nice commercial, or you're going to have a nice image showing your product or service off. Now, like I said, we ran 24 ads, right? Tester ads, A and B, right? And that landed us on 5 winning ad campaigns, meaning, right, equals what? Equals data, right? We collected data, which is names, numbers, phone numbers, date of birth, and addresses. That's what I mean by winning campaign. Now, by having that winning campaign, give me 1 second, by us doing that 24 and winning, having those 5 winning campaigns, it landed us on $1,500 in purchases or in sales. I like to say revenue, right? That landed us on $1,500 revenue, and this happened by running a $100 campaign, right? We was able to get $1,500 out of it, which is great. Now you're gonna say, we ran this campaign, right? We spent $100 for this campaign to run, right? So that brings us to $1,400. Out of this campaign, right, we was able to get 50 customers, okay? Also out of this campaign, we was able to reach over 20,000 potential customers, right? So we got 50 people that purchased, but we reached out to 20,000 people, which is crazy. Now, out of 20,000 people, we collected over 200 of their information, right? Meaning that they was able to give us information. So 200 people gave us information, right? So now if you do the math, if these 200 people gave us the information, now you do 200 people times our average packet or deal, let's say at, what's that was? Let's say $10, or whatever your packet is too. So whatever your packet or deal is times it by 200, just to give you guys an idea real quick. Hold on 1 second. It's live. 1 second. Hold on, guys. Just want to give you guys the numbers, the right numbers here. All right, so where's my pen? Where I'm writing it? I'm writing it in black. All right, so let's get to it. So we was able to get in front of 200. Sorry, we got 200 people information. Our average packet is $10. That puts us at potentially, once we run that next campaign, at $2,000, right? And once again, we're gonna spend the same $100, if not less, right? Because what happened is with Facebook, once you retain these people information, that retargeting campaign is a little cheaper for you, okay? Because you have all the information yourself. So basically, the campaign that we ran for $100, we should be able to run maybe half the cost, okay? But anyway, long story short, we learned how to get one customer by having that campaign running and doing our testing, right? So we surpassed getting one customer, which is my method, right? Our first method, if you've been following my show, is to learn how to get one customer and then scale, which we did. We just basically surpassed that. So we was able to get 50 customers with our strategy, right? Which got us 1,500, right? Which is great. We was able to get in front of 20,000 customers, right, with the ad, right? 20,000 customers, potential customers that came to our website, right? These are customers that actually purchase. And this is what we actually made in revenue, right? And this took about 2 weeks to do. And the initial cost was $100 plus our time. So it took us about 3 hours to set up the ad campaign because it does take time. Okay. All right. So when we're talking about scaling your business, like I said, the first rule is to find out how to get one customer, right? That's the first thing. And then two, we want to find out what it took to get that one customer. So in order for us to get 50 customers, we had to spend $100. So this is what I would do. So for 50 customers, right, equals $100 spent. I'm gonna just put it this way. So 50 customers, 100 bucks. So hold on, guys. Sorry about that. Put that on mute. All right, so we ran this campaign, 50 customers. Sorry, got 50 customers and we ran it for $100. So now you do $100 divided by 50 customers, and that'll give you your lead. That'll give you your conversion costs. All right. So a lot of people don't talk about this method, but this is how you would do it. So it's $100 divided by 50. So that's $2 per customer, which is awesome. So we got 50. Sorry, we got 100 going into 50. Let me just write it real quick. So $100 going into 50 customers. That got us at $2 a pop, which is great. Okay, so that's your conversion cost, right? Now, a lot of people don't talk about conversion costs, and this is the main thing that you want to talk about. Versus clicks, I don't want to click. I want to know how much it costs to make that customer convert. Meaning, the customer sees my ad, right? And then the customer goes to my website, right? And then the customer goes to the cart, right? And then the customer purchases. This is where I want to focus my energy at. I don't want to focus on clicks and all this shit. I want to focus on conversion costs. So $100 divided by 50 customers, that's $2 per customer when we're advertising. So now we understand how to scale our business, right? So in order to get customers for us on this ad campaign, we got to spend $2. right? So if you say, hey Josh, if I was running an ad campaign for you or your customer or your product or niche, whatever the case may be, obviously I'm going to test it. Obviously I'm going to get some sales. Obviously I'm going to get some customers interested. We're going to see a whole bunch of people that goes through the system. My main goal initially is to retain all the customer information, by having a lead page. That's one. Second, I want to have a CRM system put in place to retain all the information. And then that first campaign, that first 24 test campaign, our goal is not to make sales. Our goal is to understand the data and then move forward with the next campaign to really close. Now, we do such a good job in the front end that we do get customers. That's just going to be even more better data, so we can understand how to, we understand who's that ideal customer for you, so we can move forward with scaling your business and scaling your revenue properly. So right now, we know that it costs $2 to get in front of 50 converting customers that will purchase. So now you say, hey Josh, a lot of people say, yo Josh, how much is it going to cost to get X amount of customers and things like this? And I always have to tell people, like, listen, I don't know. I can give you a roundabout, but that's like you asking the doctor to give you medicine and then you don't let the doctor see what the hell is wrong with you, right? So now we know that it takes $100 to get 50 paying customers, right? So now our goal for you is going to be this. You say, hey Josh, I want to do an ad, for the month, for 30 days, right? So now we're going to say, okay, let's do advertisement for you for 30 days, and then what's the end result? Our end result, now we can kind of give you a better idea, right, on what we need to actually be, and you can bank on that because we have solid information. But like I said, advertising is still a risk. Marketing is still a risk. If you know how I teach, you guys know marketing is only a tool. It is not it isn't sales. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so anytime that we're marketing, that is not going to help you land on sales. Marketing is only a tool. It's not sales. Okay, so just keep that in your head. So anytime you see any of these big boy companies marketing, guess what? Who cares? They could be marketing all damn day. What they're doing is playing a numbers game, just like we play the numbers game. So, like I said, we're going to do advertising for you for 30 days. This campaign ran for 2 weeks. So we got 2 weeks that we ran the ad campaign for $100. We was able to get 50 customers. 50 customers, right? We was able to make $1,500. We was able to get in front of 20,000 people. That's that's major, right? We still want to deduct this because we spent $100. So we really made $1,400, right? We got in front of 20K potential customers, which is CP, potential customers, right? So now if we're looking at 30 days, we automatically know that in most cases we can definitely get that customer to, what's that, 2,800 for the month, right? They're looking at they're looking at spending $200 for the month, right? And then my 10% fee, right? All along, the person's gonna love this because initially when we walked in there, they was not doing anything. They were just relying on whatever they had in place. We just added about, let's just say, an additional $2,000 in revenue for them, which is great, by only leveraging $200. So of course they're gonna do business with us. And like I said, versus us going out and getting customers, we got customers looking for us at the end of the day, based on our strategies. And really, like I said, this training session tonight was more or less for people who are entrepreneurs, salespeople, independent contractors, freelancers, small business and mid-tier companies. You know, you guys want to understand what it really takes to run these social media advertising. Like I said, this is not posting or social media management. Don't mix construe what I'm talking about. I'm talking about going onto Facebook Ad Manager and setting up an ad campaign so you can actually get customers coming to your business, to your website, to your multi-level marketing website, to your landing page, to your place of business, okay? Whatever product or niche or service that you provide, this is for you, okay? Moving along. Now, with everything being said, I'm not the one to give any company leverage. I learned the hard way. So just remember, I always teach people that you need to be in control, and that's something that we have on our commercial when we're presenting, you know, our products and services. So we want to make sure that whoever, you know, that we partner with is driving traffic to you, not just, what I mean by you is to your website, right? So if you're using Facebook, or if you're using YouTube, or even if you're using Google AdWords, right? Or even if you're using Instagram or TikTok, right? Or if you're using LinkedIn, or if you're using Pinterest, right? Or Twitter, or Tumblr, whatever the case may be, right? Your goal is to take all this traffic like this, right? You take all this traffic of people that you're advertising to, and then you want to run it to your website, right? You don't want to just run these campaigns to these social media platforms, because what happened is, for a long period of time, you know, you don't want to do that. What you really want to do is just leverage the social media platforms, right? You definitely want to leverage. You want to leverage all these platforms, right? Leverage social media platforms only, right? You only want to leverage them, but your main goal is to get them to your website. If you're not doing that, then you are doing yourself a disservice, because if you're spending, just remember, if you're spending $200, I'd rather still make sure, like I teach everyone, you still want to make sure that you own this $200 100%, at least 50%. And people understand, if you've been following me, ownership for us is always 50% ownership to 100% ownership. Because if you don't own 100% of this data, and you're not collecting 100% of this data, you're just leaving it on the table, which is not what you should be doing as a business owner. Each and every last business owner, each and every last freelancer, independent contractor, or small practice should always own and collect their company data, especially when you're spending the money. If you are spending the money, you should be owning the intellectual property, which is the data that's being collected. Once again, which is names, phone numbers, right? Names, numbers, or phone numbers, right? Emails, date of birth, addresses. You should be owning this information on your CRM system, okay, or your CRM software. So if you have a third-party person doing your advertisement, or if you even have a VA doing it, you should make sure that you collect and you own all the data, and it's coming back to you in an email format or a CVS file, and you own it. So when you run the next campaign, or if you want to do sales, you have accumulated so much data that you don't have to rely on social media platforms to continue spending money with them and things like that. You know, only time you want to do that is when you're dropping a new product. But like, once again, you want to leverage social media platforms, collect all the data that you can humanly possibly get, and then you want to run it to your website, right? To your website, to your podcast, right? To your landing page, right? To your offers, right? Because now you control the data. Now you own it. Now you can move it, and now you can scale it. All right. Listen, I know tonight the video was like a little off the hook. We, laptops done died, the light done went off, the music was all out of whack, my new camera had a shortage in it, my shirt ripped, all kind of craziness happened tonight, and we still got the video done at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever the case may be, just to show you guys we're dedicated. Like I said, once again, all the recordings should have a rewind button, so you guys can rewind it and go back to the lesson that we put together if you just are joining. Once again, this is the Josh Harkness Show. Tonight we were talking about marketing and how to control your data, how to scale your advertising campaign, how to do keyword research, right? How to put together your targeted marketing campaign, and what are some key fundamental things to do and some key fundamental things not to do. We also talked about understanding that Facebook works with Instagram as well as Google works with YouTube, and some of the do's and don'ts on there. We also talked about scaling your business. We talked about finding your conversion price, right? We talked about targeted marketing as far as running traffic to your place of business or to your website. We also talked about doing the math, right? Doing the math, which is very important. We also talked about leveraging social media platforms to, one, control the data that you collect, and two, run all your customers to your website. Okay, so meaning you take them from all the social media platforms, you control the data, and then now you collect the data, and then now you can actually do promotions and retargeting campaigns to your website at no cost. Okay, thanks for joining me. This is a Josh Harkness live show. Once again, this is a live show.